今天又被老板骂了，觉得自己好难呀。唉，只适合干饭，不适合上班。
我身体上出现了应激反应，就我一想到我今天要去上班，上这个咖啡店的班，我特别想吐，是真的想对马桶吐那种感觉。不是这个班让我恶心，是
今天又被老板骂了。
I got yelled at by my boss again today. I was thinking at noon that I was about to get off work soon, and I could go on a date with my boyfriend. Then the company messaged me and said that there was a place on the contract I mailed out that did not have a stamp. I instantly felt my head buzzing. Why do I feel like I already checked it several times? Such a simple thing like preparing the contract, signing it and stamping it, and then mailing it out, I still messed it up again. Really, what else can I even do? In an instant I felt like I was useless. I wanted to quit, I wanted to strike, I did not want to do it anymore, I wanted to run away. It just felt like I really am not suited for working. With my state, even if I go do something like an office clerk, I probably would not do well either, getting yelled at by the boss every day, or getting fired after just a few days. In that moment I felt like I could not do anything. Then I calmed down all of a sudden, looked carefully, and realized that the one copy of the contract I forgot to stamp was exactly the one that the other side would stamp and mail back to me, and there was only this one. Then that is just perfect. As long as they stamp it and mail it back to me, and I keep it safe, the problem is solved. I was really not rigorous doing things like this, and it feels like I left a very bad impression on my coworkers and the staff on the other side. Such a small thing and I can still make mistakes. It feels like I am that kind of low-level workhorse. It is so miserable. Forget it. Later I will go pick up my boyfriend, watch a movie and relax a bit. I feel like I am so lazy. I'm only good at eating, not good at working.
我今天真的切身地感受到了女性在职场有多艰难。
Today I truly felt firsthand how hard it is for women in the workplace. Today I heard my boss making a phone call because I am in the same office as him, and the person in charge of his other company called him and said that a female employee was pregnant. That female employee was pregnant, and today she went to find him with tears and snot all over her face, saying it seemed like she was pregnant, as if she had made some huge mistake, and she kept telling him that she got pregnant by accident, that this was actually an accident. It was as if this was something unforgivable. And the purpose of this phone call was obvious too, right? How should they handle a pregnant employee? It is obvious, they actually did not really want that employee to keep working at the company. But everyone knows that firing a pregnant woman violates labor law. Seriously, when I heard it, my head was buzzing. Fortunately, this boss of ours is fairly reasonable. He said if she can keep working then she can keep working, and they can find another person to take over some of her work, and later when she takes maternity leave, she takes it. But from their state and tone while talking, I could feel that they really did not want a pregnant female employee to continue working here. And they also talked about recruiting, saying that now when they recruit, it seems that most of the applicants are women, but they do not really want women. They said women have the risk of pregnancy, and that pregnancy is a risk. After he hung up the phone, he suddenly asked me something. He said, "Xiaoyang, will you also suddenly tell me later that you are pregnant?" I did not know what to say.
你听我说，你上班干点活，你慢点，一有点活啊，你就头也不抬，水也不喝，厕所也不去了，就着急干完。一共就那么多事儿，你干得快你就干得多，你干得多你就错得多。再说了，你干完了你没活干，你在那干坐着，你让领导看到了你尴不尴尬？你能去跟领导解释啊，领导我干活快，我2个小时的活1个小时干完了。什么是好员工？好员工就是领导什么时候看人家都在那忙活，都在那干活，这叫兢兢业业。你只要在不影响团队整体的进度下把你的工作干完就行了。你加班加点埋头苦干，你感动不了别人，你只能感动你自己，你也感动不了领导，人家领导觉得这是应该的，知不知道？散会。
你们知道女人对女人的恶意可以有多大吗？
Do you know how much malice women can have toward women? Especially in the workplace, in a company with many women and few men, like airlines, like cosmetics companies, like kindergartens. Let me give you an example. When I first started working, what I believed in was do not hit someone who smiles at you, right? So when I met all my seniors in the hallway, I basically smiled and greeted them like this.
But one day a female senior told me, "Why are you smiling? What is there to smile about?" That completely stunned me. With my kindness and innocence at that time, I did not understand why she disliked me so much. So later I found out it turned out that I look prettier when I smile, so that led to the dislike. And things like that where she can say it to your face, that is already not the biggest malice. What is the biggest malice? In companies with many women, female coworkers can very easily form cliques and act like they are close to you, like you are besties. But at that time she might be probing your real thoughts and reporting them upward, stabbing you in the back. And if the company's top leader is still a man, she might stop at nothing to climb up, and then you are even more doomed. If you still want to survive in this company, what can you do? It is to talk less, do more, and keep smiling. But this is the company's greatest misfortune. Then do you want to imitate her and take revenge on others? You know, when malice ends with you, that is actually your greatest kindness. When will revenge ever end? Your good karma will come to you one day. So you must believe this. This is my reflection today on women in the workplace.
我是一名33岁的女程序员，计算机专业硕士。
I am a 33-year-old female programmer with a master's degree in computer science, and at the end of 2024 I was laid off, and until now I have not found a suitable job for half a year. It is not because my technical ability is not enough, but because I am a woman. Of course, let me first state that not finding a suitable job also has factors like age and salary expectations. I mainly want to talk about the unfair treatment I have suffered because of my gender. From when I first started working until before I was laid off, during these 8 years, I have been doing Java backend development. From my personal experience job hunting over the past half year, I know too well how difficult it is for women in the job market. When I first graduated from university, men and women had similar technical levels, and men and women had similar interview opportunities. But after women work for a few years, companies have to consider that women will get married, have children, and take care of the family, and interview opportunities really become very few. And when workability is the same, women's salary has to be lower than men's before companies will consider them. There are few women in this industry, not only because the work is exhausting, but also because many companies simply do not want women. I once interviewed at a top 3 securities company in the financial industry. I passed the technical interview, the manager interview, and the HR interview, and I submitted all materials like salary records, diplomas, and degree certificates. At that time the HR told me that in 2 weeks the offer would be approved. I thought, this should be fine, right? But after 2 weeks, the other 3 men who interviewed in the same batch as me all received offer and onboarding notices, only mine did not. Later I went to ask HR, and HR said my hiring process was put on hold. Hearing this, I seemed to understand. With the same technical level, and with the same salary, then as a woman at this age, once you come in, there is a high probability you will face marriage and childbirth, more leave, and you cannot work overtime, so why must they choose you? Companies will choose the most cost-effective among the people who pass the interviews. The company is not wrong, the wrong thing is that I am a woman. After that, I interviewed with some small and medium companies too. When it got to the HR interview or the department manager interview, they started asking me, do you have a boyfriend? Are you married? Do you have any plans to have a baby in the next 2 years? Some were even more direct, if you come to our company, you cannot have a baby in the next 2 or 3 years, can you guarantee that? Now I have found that as long as you are over 30 years old, unmarried, and childless or married and childless, HR will feel that you may take maternity leave at any time. As long as you have not given birth yet, you will be labeled as unstable. Even if you are very capable, with a brilliant background, with top technical skills, in front of the issue that you might have a baby, all your achievements will be negated. And some people say they do not hire women because women cannot handle pressure. I just want to say, I have worked for 8 years, with dozens of projects big and small, emergency releases, technical failures, customer complaints, last-minute requirement changes. Which one did I not grit my teeth and carry through? Whether you can handle pressure does not depend on gender, it should depend on a person's experience and strength.
我觉得这不是中国对女性歧视，整个全球市场都对女性有歧视。
I think this is not China discriminating against women. The global workplace discriminates against women. If it is the same position, and there is a male candidate whose performance is slightly worse than yours, whose ability is slightly worse than yours, I will definitely choose the man first. Many bosses naturally think men have fewer burdens, you will get married, You will have children, you will delay many things. I have too many concerns about you. But today I started my own company. I became the boss myself, and I feel I am the same. To be honest, I am the same. When I consider this input-output ratio, when I consider company efficiency, I do not want to hire women. But you also cannot biasly say, you should not care about the child. Can women not care about the child, can they? They must. How many people can balance children and family well? It is too hard. You can only hollow yourself out. You have no choice, and you also cannot deny women's right to have children. Not marrying and not having children is not realistic either. Then what can you do? My experience is that women pay more.
Why do I say that what truly squeezes women's survival space in the workplace is not men, but rather a certain group of women who shout every day about protecting women's rights? I will give everyone an example, and you'll understand. For example, recently a woman joined a certain company, and right after her 3-month probation period ended, she told the company that she was already pregnant. This move roughly means telling the company, I am getting ready to lie down and earn your 1 year of salary. Of course, the company did not want to be that sucker, so they fired this woman on the grounds that she failed the probation assessment. As a result, this woman applied for labor arbitration. Then, according to the court's review, the company could not terminate the labor contract. Even if the company did not have a suitable position to provide her, they still had to protect the lawful labor rights of pregnant female employees and keep supporting her. Then, from a legal perspective, this woman's move is absolutely lawful because the law protects the lawful rights of pregnant women. You cannot fire someone just because she is pregnant. But the problem is, think from the company's perspective. What is this? She calculated the timing, and the moment she became a regular employee, she announced she was already pregnant, and then she just waited to give birth. She worked only a few days in total, and she's going to take a very long leave. To a company, this is no different from fraud. During pregnancy and childbirth, you still take your salary. Then what about your work? Do they hire another employee to do it for you? Or spread it among coworkers who are not pregnant? If they hire another employee, then is the company doing charity, paying you for so long for no reason? After you give birth and finish the nursing period, if you resign directly, then does that not mean the company paid the bill for you to have a child? The original intention of labor law was to protect pregnant women from being bullied by companies, but now it has become a loophole for many people to freeload off companies. But the problem is that companies are not stupid. They can fall for it once, they will not fall for it every time. When more people do this, women's value in the workplace is weakened, and even society as a whole becomes wary of women as a group. Especially when companies recruit, they will try every way to deliberately avoid women. Even for positions that must hire women, they will choose those groups that are not very likely to have children in the short term. If you were the boss, what would you do? If you were the employee, what would you choose? In the comments, state your stance, and we will see you next time.